Yo, 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 yo. What's good, guys? Good evening, good evening, good evening. How are we doing? Happy Wednesday. We're doing good. We're on a pretty good winning streak, so hopefully we can keep that on point. What's up, Ashley? What's up, S? Osby, Bax, Mike, D. How are you guys doing? Happy Wednesday. I have a few things I'm going to cover, guys. Actually, I think some stuff that's really going to give you guys a different perspective as well. But first off, Scarlett, have anything you want to say about today and so far anything with this week, or are we good?
Today was good. I'm green. I'm green. I don't even remember how much. I'm green. How much am I green?
Like
Like
three,
350
400?
or
Yeah,
something
yeah, yeah.
like that. 400, yeah. 441 with 50 cents. 350 was yesterday on the eval, and then today it was on my pro account. So that means I need 1,000 more to lock in my drawdown and then build a nice cushion. We'll see. I mean, so far, I think what's working is I stopped being so like freaked out about everything and I'm more relaxed and I set my stops a little wider without being so nervous. Like today's trade was really hard for me, but then I realized, okay, I have to set my stop loss a little wider. I did get stopped out twice, and then third time was a charm.
So you did get stopped out twice on that trade?
I did. It was a
Okay.
difficult trade for me, but
No,
I
yeah.
immediately noticed what I'm doing is setting my stops too tight because this is fluctuating.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's why again a lot I think a lot of us in here wait, how's the audio real quick? Real quick. Is it
Audio's good.
audio? Okay, because I know Duffy said audio is weird. Everybody else, just before we keep going, I want to make sure everybody else can hear. Okay. Cool. If it's not working for you, it's kind of chopped. Just reset it. Maybe you have to update the software or update the application. Sometimes it says, "Hey, update Discord." But again, this is being recorded, so I will upload the lesson tonight as well. So we should be good on that. But yeah, the biggest thing today was I think today's second. I mean, the first trade obviously was a banger, right? And again, let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys. We'll go over the trades, but I definitely think the second trade really actually pretty much told people if you guys have good or bad stop losses. I think the second trade, that you guys were like really didn't understand where to put your stops. So and again, like how and by the way, Scarlett, where did you put your stops before you got stopped out twice? Like, what made you put those stops at where you did? Was it because of how much you didn't want to lose? What were you thinking?
Most of my stops were like the next candle high, but still, and then I would quickly move it to like the middle of the candle, so like halfway, and that's what made it. What was I thinking? Like I was just trying not to lose a
Yeah,
lot, but that's an old habit. And then I
yeah,
immediately thought, okay, I'm only in 5 micros. I need to relax. Like I need to set my stops wide. I noticed you set your stops really wide today.
yeah.
And you held on. You were like in that trade,
And I kept on adding
even
as
though
well. I was adding to the
you kept
position
on
as well.
running.
Yeah, so at the end of
Yeah.
the like I first went in 4 and then I went in 8 and then I went in 12. So I was in pretty heavy, but you guys saw that like I don't just go in full tilt or full like leverage, right? You guys saw like the first trade, and then when I started gradually seeing the market to in our favor, I started applying more and more risk. And then when I applied more and more risk, I started lowering and lowering my stop. Which again, this is like I wouldn't really say it's easy or fair, but it really shows you guys if you guys are over leveraging or not. Like this second trade will pretty much say yes, Will, I over leverage my trades because if you guys took a loss on that trade or you guys had to close the position because you were going to lose too much right there and right then, it pretty much says, yeah, I'm over trading. Like I think that trade perfectly explains for the traders that lost on that trade or the traders that got stopped out on the trade. You're still over leveraging. Now I don't think Charlotte, you weren't really over leveraging. I just think it was habit slash just like a little bit of fear involved because no matter how light we go in, seeing red on our screen is never good. Nobody wants to see that, right? It's scary. But again, I am trading on personal account. I've been trading on personal account for the last week and a half now, right? So my stops are, I wouldn't say they're going to be super crazy, but I do have room. So like, I'm not kind of like, when I first trade on prop firms, guys, when I first get like funded and stuff like that, you have to understand that like you have to be super tight with it, like super tight. If you aren't super tight with it in the beginning of your prop firms, then you will blow them. But once you start building cushion, that's why I think before we continue the lesson, I want to kind of talk about your initial first like 1, 2, 3 weeks of prop firm trading, right? our goal for the first 1 to 2 weeks of a prop firm, obviously the first goal of a prop firm is what? Pass the account. That's the first goal. After you checked it off, the second goal to the account will be to build buffer. That's the second part of a prop firm, right? Because again, what do prop firms give you initially? They give you about $2,000 of drawdown. Most of us in here, I think like more than half of us in here buy $50,000 accounts, right? So if you buy $50,000 accounts, what do they give you? $2,000 drawdown. That's not a whole lot. I was talking to some students today. It's not that much. The leverage they give you on a 50K is more than enough. We don't have to worry about that. But what the problem is, initially, the first beginning of the funded account, it's really, really bad drawdown. So our goal is to just build buffer, right? Eventually, when you start getting 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, $20,000 in buffer, then it starts to really make it easier to trade. But the initial period of the prop firm is going to be super hard. It is going to be hard, right? Same thing when I was building my personal account. The initial period, I wasn't making a ton of money. I had to build the buffer on the account to take bigger positions. But if you're just like, oh, wait, I have $2,000 of drawdown, like think about this, guys, right? If you guys are personally putting in your own personal capital, you won't even be able to have the margin requirements to trade the account or the contracts that you're going in with. I know some students in here are trading 1, 2, 3 NQs, okay? If you guys are trading personal capital, your broker wouldn't even allow you to trade that size based on how much money is in your account. But yep, sorry, you can't trade 2 NQ contracts. You only have $2,000 of drawdown. You can't do it. So think about that. If you guys are trading more than 1 NQ contract or even 1 NQ contract on a $2,000 drawdown, you're over leveraging the account. Because again, think of it like personal funded. If you have $1,000 or $2,000 in a personal capital account, none of us in here should be trading 1 NQ contract. Okay. So it's just kind of get a look in perspective. Now, Scarlett, anything else you want to say about in the lesson before I start really diving in on the analysis or anything like that?
Yeah, I think I was scared because this was my first trade on the pro account, and then I kept thinking, "Oh my gosh, like that drawdown." But I reminded myself, like, just be confident. I passed the eval, so I'm sure I can pass this section if I just keep doing the same thing I was doing to pass the eval.
Exactly.
And I
Yeah.
guess it worked. We'll see. We'll
How
keep
many
going
how many
tomorrow and
contracts did you go in
Friday.
with? How many contracts did you go in with?
500, 500, 5 M and Q,
The whole
just 5.
trade? Okay, you didn't add or anything?
No,
Okay.
and then I added.
Oh, you did. Okay.
I did add, yeah.
Okay.
So it was
Awesome.
one, what, like equivalent to 1 NQ.
Okay.
And
Perfect.
then, yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Good. Well, I'm glad it's like look and Scarlett. Before I wanted to talk to you about like look at the difference between what you've been doing this last week and so far this week and everybody else in here. Like, you guys see the small little adjustments that you guys are doing? Do you guys see like again, Scarlett? When was the last time you blew an account? It's been a little bit, right? Because you're actually following your rules, right? People in here, if you guys are
Yeah,
seeing, you know what I mean? Like, see the difference between you're not going to be you're not going to pass a funded in 2 days. You're not going to get a payout in 2 days. But if you follow your rules then you start saying, wait a second, I haven't blown a funded account in a week. Huh. Oh, wait,
yeah,
you know what I mean? So just start seeing those small little adjustments and you're going to be like, oh my goodness, it starts slowing clicking, right? And then the biggest thing is just staying on top of that, right? So
exactly.
exactly. So yeah, keep that up. Nice work, Scarlett, and nice work, everybody else. But I'm gonna go ahead and like dive a little bit more into the trades, just so you guys get a little bit of a better understanding of why my stop loss is where it was, why I decided to add, where I added, and so forth. Now I only took 2 trades today. That was it. 2 trades. Right? Could I have taken more? Right? Again, the biggest thing, especially in today, look what happened. We had that 2 good moves. We consolidated for a little bit, and then we took another leg down. I even took a screenshot of literally I called out this reversal down here to a T. I actually was on TikTok live and I even called out. I didn't take the trade. I didn't take it, but I called it out on live saying, hey, if we break this, we're going all the way up. And it literally went all the way up on like in real time. And I'll explain how I found that and how I was able to call that out. I was in this, yeah, Mike, you see that? I literally called that out in real time while that was reversing. Which again, I'll explain how I was able to identify that. So the first trade was, I think, like a very, very easy trade to identify, right? If we go to a bigger time frame here, we can obviously see here's pre-market lows right here. Here's pre-market highs right here. Okay, and right when market opens, right, our goal, we're neutral. We're not bullish. We're not bearish on the day, because a lot of people say, oh my goodness, look at pre-market. Pre-market's bullish. Yay, look at pre-market go, right? So then everybody's going to be like, oh, if pre-market's bullish, shouldn't market open be bullish? And that's what a lot of people think. Wrong, right? You do not want to have a bias until the market opens. So again, we draw out our key levels. We see boom, ding, 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 8:30 hits. First candle, right? So you remember that first candle who was on with me this morning was green. We massively shot up green, and then the candle went all the way back down to red, right? It was a green red candle. So when we saw that flip, a green to red, and a thing that I want to point out to you guys before I jump too far ahead is when you guys look at candles, and if you see the initial candle be green, and then when you see it flip to red, or vice versa, a candle being red, flipping to green, that is called a reversal candle play, meaning you actually see the shift between buyers to sellers or sellers to buyers. So for example, the candle this morning, see how the initial candle opened, boom, green, buyers are stepping up, buyers are stepping up, and then out of nowhere, you started seeing the slowing buying pressure, and then you started seeing the candle flip to red. That shows you that the change of direction in the market is now turning from bullish to bearish. So if you guys can see those tiny little things, it will help you say, oh, wait, buyers might not be there anymore. Let's see what sellers going to do, right? And so when we got that red candle push there, I'm like, interesting, right? And the trade that I went in on was the initial was 24,868, okay? And this was, and then actually I think, yeah, it was 24,8. Actually, I was a little lower than that. It was like 24,863. And we took shorts, and it was a beautiful short play all the way down to pre-market lows, okay? Which I think actually I got out earlier. I think actually, no, excuse me, I got out early. I got out right here. I got it right here. So this was the first trade. Clean level, we broke it, and then I took out my first take profit, and then I was like, you know what? The second trade was going for TP low. So this was the first trade, right? Clear understanding of being able to candle wicks blow us. Yeah, exactly. So this is a clear, easy trade. We saw that reversal from buying to selling pressure. We traded below the VWAP, and then obviously this was a key level here at 24,863. We broke below it, entered short. Stop loss was candle high, and then this was my next key level right here. First trade, that like 1.4k green. Okay, I went in 4 NQs, and in this specific trade, I was never able to add to my position size. Now, not every, just like I kind of talked about yesterday, you're not able to add to your position every single time. Just like the first trade this morning, I wasn't able to add, right? It was just that first half size position. It went straight down to take profit, boom, out of the position, okay? And then the second trade, now this was a scary trade, right? This was a scary trade. Now, so I'm gonna leave this candle here, okay? Because when the market came back up like this, I'm like, cool, what do we wanna see for a continuation? A lower high, right? So if I get my drawing tool right here, let me, boom. So here's the high candle, boom. Okay, here's a lower high. So what do we want to see? More selling pressure. So I said, okay, let's go ahead and go short. Now, I could have entered early, right? I could have entered early right here. I'm going to make this green. The reason why I didn't, I would have honestly, if I haven't taken a trade yet, I would have entered short here. But the reason why I didn't enter short here was because we just got out of a trade. I hate taking trades back to back, like boom, we're in a trade, 3 seconds later, boom, we enter another trade, right? I feel like that's rushing it too much. I want to kind of take my time and truly make sure that I'm trading correctly. I hate taking trade after trade after trade, just back, and that's kind of just a psychology thing for me, okay? So that's why I didn't really enter early. And then I'm like, okay, well, here's candle low. This is candle low here, all right? I'm going to go ahead and remove this line, okay? And when I saw this, I'm like, okay, well, if we could come back down here, and then I kind of jumped the gun a little too early. I will say that. My entry wasn't the best, right? My entry wasn't perfect, and that's why I always go in half size, because no matter what, I still don't have the most beautiful entries, right? I have the right idea, but my entry is might not be the best, just like this trade, right? When I entered, right, we flipped right back to green, right? And then a lot of you guys probably were freaking out, and a lot of you guys might have done candle high right here, right? I think a lot of us got stopped out on this candle high, but this is a bad stop loss. Okay, this is a bad stop loss, and you'll be like, Will, why is that a bad stop loss? Don't you say put your stop loss to candle high? Yes, but if you can see what price action is in a hole here, our stop loss should be candle high here. This should be our stop loss, okay? Because this is the main key level, right? This is the most recent high or low. Now, if our entry is here and our stop is here, that's pretty wide. I'll be honest with you. That isn't a small stop, right? But that's, again, why we go in, what? Half size. Right? Because let's say we do come all the way back up and I got stopped down the trade. Let's say we got stopped out. Yeah, does it hurt? Yeah, we read, so be it. But it's not going to be detrimental to our account. Okay? Again, I went in half size right here, right? And then I was only down, I was still green. Right at this point, at this candle high right here, guys, I was only down, I was still up $600 green. like $500 green because I was up 1.4K on the first trade. So when we came all the way back up here, I was still green. So if this continued to go back up and I got stopped out, I would have still walked away green, maybe like $200 ish, right? So I still would have been green even if this was a loss. So then when we came back down, right, I said, hey guys, and this, I'm going to make this candle, I'm going to make it red, all right? This line here, I said, if we can break this level, I'm going to add more to my position. Why am I adding to my position here? Because if this is a lower high, we sell off, we come back up, we form another lower high. I want to keep adding to the selling pressure, right? Now, again, this was just really, really bad chop until we actually did slip. Now, I'd never know how much chop we're going to be in. Nobody will ever know. I don't know. This could have chopped for another 20 minutes. I don't know, right? The market, I can't predict that. But what I can predict is that we're in a downtrend. This is a key level. If this does break, it's going to fall all the way down to pre-market lows. Here's pre-market lows, okay? And that I do have a stop in place. So then I added again right here. So now I'm in 8 NQs, okay? I'm in pretty heavy. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to say heavy, but I'm not in light. So what did I have to do? I have to move a stop from here all the way down to candle high here, right? Which I'll make this green, I guess, okay? Here's my stop green, my entry red. I kind of vice versa, whatever. Don't focus on the colors, okay? And then I'm like, okay, cool. And then this candle, again, almost stopped me out because I did have a hard stop right above this line because I'm in 8 NQs, right? I would have been down. Now, since I added double my position, if I would have gone stopped out right here, I would have been red $1,000. Okay, I would have given back my profit plus another $1,000 loss. Okay, because I wasn't heavy, I was in 8 NQs. But again, right, I'm okay with that because with my account size, how much I have in my account and how much I'm using, that's not a big loss for me. Now you guys, oh my gosh, $1,000 loss, that's so much. Not for my portfolio. That's like a $200 to $300 loss for you guys, in a sense. Okay, so don't kind of focus on their dollar amount because I'm trading with a lot more money than you guys are. So don't focus on, oh, 1,000, 5,000, 6,000. It's all about perspective and dollar amount in account, right? If somebody trades $1 million account, they could have a $10,000 loss. That's like $1,000 loss to me, right? So then my stop loss is right here. And again, I'm telling you, right? But if you can identify your key levels like high here, the market, if you could understand why my stops are here. And my stop was here because this is a miniature resistance level. See how this candle came all the way up to this level and almost touched it and then sold right back off? Because I'm not just making up my stop losses. I'm not saying, I guess I'll put it there. Oh, I guess I'll put it there. No, I'm putting it there for a reason. Okay, so once we got up here, now again, am I going to be right 100% of the time? No, I was getting a little nervous. I'll be honest with you guys. Like, oh my gosh, we're like I was like 1 point away from being stopped out of the trade. I was. But again, I was confident in the trade, and then we came right back down. I added again on this candle. So now I'm in 12 NQs, okay? And then I'm like, okay, I'm in full size. I don't want to add any more. I could have added more if I wanted to. I could have added maybe another 4 on this break, so it could have been up maybe in 15, 16 NQs. But I'm like, you know what? I'm in enough on my leverage. I don't really need to add more. And then right when we started really slipping here, then what I do? I moved my stop from this high to this high, okay? Because when you're adding to your position, you have to control your stop, right? So then and then we just slipped. And then the trade just was in our favor, and we were chilling, okay? And then obviously, boom, we slipped, got out right there. And actually, no, I sold a quarter. Since I was in 12, right? Since I'm in 12 contracts, I'm selling 4 at a time. So right when we started slipping, I'm like, oh, wait, we got this. Just to make sure I'm just taking money off the table, I immediately sold 4 here. Then I immediately sold 4 right here. And then I immediately sold 4 at actual take profit. So I'm not just like, okay, I'm in full size, and then I don't take out my full position until TP. I start slowly scaling out my position while the market's moving towards my TP. So then when I have my last like 4 NQs, then I'm holding my last bunch or my last contracts at that last drop here. Okay, is that making sense? Does everybody understand what I'm talking about, or are we confused? Or is that all clicking for us? Now, being able to do this flawlessly like I am is not easy, right? It takes practice, okay? It takes experience. It takes doing this 1,000 times, okay? Being able to manage the trade is the hard part. Seeing the trade, the first thing you have to do is see the trade. If you guys can't understand what I'm seeing, then how can we execute it correctly? All right, but once you can understand what we're doing, then the practice of executing it correctly. Now, I think starting Monday, I'm gonna do something a little crazy. I'm gonna put, I think, another 200,000 to 300,000 in my personal account, and I think I'm gonna be trading half size 8 NQs, full size 25 NQs. I think We're gonna see how that goes. I'm kind of like pushing myself to the limit towards the end of the year, because like for the last 2 years, I've been trading the size that you're seeing today. I've been trading what you kind of see lately with my personal, but I think towards the end of the year, I'm gonna be trading like 8 NQs half size, 24 full size, maybe 30 full size. I'm not sure yet. Um, which I've never done before. Like you guys are gonna see that firsthand, right? So maybe we can maybe have 60, 70K weeks. I don't know. We'll figure that out, right? And I'm just saying add another 200. Like, I'm not saying that just add another like, oh, that's nothing, right? But yeah, I always used to keep like 6 figures in there. I wasn't really keeping that much. Right now I'm gonna add more because like to be able to have 8, 10, 20, 30 NQ contracts, you have to like putting 30 NQ contracts on a 100K account. That's over leveraged. Because what do you need in a personal trading account? You have to maintain $30,000 in your account, which is 30% of my account I'm going in. That's kind of over leveraging, right? I mean, dude, if I have 100K weeks, I'll be insane. I don't think I'll hit that, honestly. Maybe towards the end of, maybe middle of next year, we'll see. But you'll see. I'm just keeping you guys up to how I'm performing, how I'm doing it. Now I'm showing you guys being able to put that much risk on the table. You guys see how much money I have to put in my account. So I'm giving you guys a perspective of where you guys are at. If you guys are expecting to take 5, 6, 7 NQ contracts on a $300, $3,000 drawdown, you guys are crazy. Okay, you have to start small, build the buffer up to take bigger positions. So if you're like, Will, why am I not making $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7,000 days? Because you don't have the leverage. Now you might get lucky and hit a banger and be able to do it, but you have to have the leverage / drawdown to be able to maintain those positions, especially when we're in this. This happens a lot more than you think. These chops happen a lot more than you think, right? You can see right after we had that leg down, right? Let me remove these lines here. Right when we had this leg down, let me zoom out a little bit. What happened? Right after that leg down here, what did we do? We just chopped again, right? And this is kind of why I walk away from the charts. Now, after we chopped from about 8:54 all the way to 10:23. So we chopped for almost, an hour and 50, almost 2 hours, give or take, right? So you guys trying to trade in this, you probably would have been stopped out. I would have been stopped out for sure, because then I'll say, higher low. I would have probably gone in here, stop loss a bit. Actually, I might have actually been alive, because if I would have entered here, my stop loss would be above these highs. So I actually would probably be just in draw. I would probably be in shop here. I would have been close to my drawdown. So if I did take this position, I would have taken probably the short here. And my stop would have been up here. And then my take profit would probably be all the way down here. And I didn't take this trade, but I'm just showing you what I would have done. And this trade would have taken forever. And I hate staying in positions longer than 10 minutes for my psychology, for my mental. If I'm in a position longer than 10 minutes, I start sweating. I'll be honest with you, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't see my P&L go up and down anymore. I just like hit it, right? Okay, any questions for that? Any questions there? I'm going to go ahead and now talk about the trade that I called out for this reversal right here, and how I was able to understand and cash this reversal. Now, I didn't take the reversal, but I'm going to explain how I found it before it happened. Okay. Now how to find these when you're dropping, by the way, when we're dropping aggressively, like very, very aggressively, to make sure that this could potentially be a reversal, you have to go to like the 2 hour and 3 hour time frame. You have to do that. So if I go ahead and go to the 2 hour time frame here, right? Look what we see. Do you see a different picture? Key level, Algo called it out. Trend line, Algo called it out. And this is literally how I found it and called this trade out on live. Look, I said if we liquidity sweep this level, we're going higher. So if we can identify this on a bigger time frame, all we have to do then is now go to a smaller time frame. Look, and then that's why I said, I even told you guys on live, not you guys, but like when I was live, I said if we can break this high here aggressively, we're going to at least go to here. And if we can go to here, then we're going to go to here. And if we can go to here, we're going to go to at least here. You guys see that? And that's how I was able to call out that reversal. Higher time frames on bigger support resistance levels are going to be a bigger foot for its a potential reversal, right? So then we swept it, we came back down, and then I actually saw that we formed a higher low right there. Boom. There's that higher low. There's that break. And again, I even called out, said I would have entered here. My take profit 1 would have been here. Take profit 2 would have been here. Take profit 3 would have been here, which again, it hit all my take profits and actually continued going higher. But again, I didn't take the trade. I guess I was a little FOMO because I called it out flawlessly. But hey, we're human. It happens. I don't catch everything. But if you guys can just be patient and truly identify trend and key levels, that's all I got. That's pretty much all I do, guys. It sounds super easy too. Like that's why I don't really like this ICT and all this other mumbo jumbo stuff because they make it too complicated. If you really want to break down what I do, it's two things. If you want to really break it down, it's identifying key levels and trend. That's it, right? Obviously, yeah, I have the VWAP to kind of help me with trend. I have the 20 exponential moving average helping me with what? With trend, right? I have my algo helping me with what? Key levels. So if you guys actually see all my indicators and all my algos just do two things: trend and key levels. That's it. So if I actually want to break this down and make it sound really, really easy and kind of crazy, that's all I do: trend, key levels. So if you can identify good trend and you can identify good key levels, then all you're going to do is have take profits at your key levels, your stop losses at your key levels, and then trend is if it's bullish or bearish. And then all we do is just replicate that. Does that sound pretty easy just by me saying that? It sounds easy, right? I know people that have been with me for a while, you're like, yeah, holy crap, well, that sounds super easy. But then when we actually put it into practice and we try to do it in real time, that's where it's like, holy crap, it's not really that easy, but the science behind it's easy. Now we just have to worry about our emotions because every single time, right? These two trades that we took this morning, this trade down here, it's easy to see, but what gets in the way when we execute it? Emotions, right? When we were in shop here, why did we get stopped out? Emotions. That's it. Why did we lose money today if we lost money today? Emotions. Or why did we lose money? We're over leveraging. Why are we over leveraging? If you really think about it, why do people over leverage? People over leverage because they want to make more money. Why do they want to make more money? So they can pass their evals. Why do they want to pass their evals? So they get a faster payout. Why do they want to get a faster payout? To make more money. See how it's a whole cycle? And why you guys do what you do? It's weird. Like I literally read 13,000 books, not even about trading. Not that I'm exaggerating, I didn't read 13,000 books, but I'm just saying I read a lot of books just about psychology, guys. That's it. Because people fail or succeed not based off the strategy, but based off of their own emotions, right? I spoken to one of a student that his friend was training for about 6 to 7 months, and he said to his friend, he's like, "Hey, this is my last pro account. This is my last funded account, right? And if I blow this funded account, I'm done trading." Guess what the guy did? He full ported his funded account and he blew it. He's like, "Yeah, okay, I quit." And he stopped trading. Another one of my friends, I just reached out to him, like, "How are you doing?" He's like, "I'm messing up." I'm like, "Why are you messing up?" And then he talks about how he's getting greedy, FOMO, revenge trading. See how every single person that quits or is losing money is not based upon trading. It's based upon your inner demons of your emotions. It's super weird to explain how trading really isn't about candlesticks. I mean, yeah, that's a part of it, but what really trading is about what's going on in your own head. And that's what took me so long to figure out. It took what I'm talking to you guys about today, it took me 2.5 years to figure out. Right? And you guys are going through it as well. I know a lot of you guys are like, "Man, I got stopped out." Why? Emotions. Why did you over leverage? Yeah, emotions. Greed is ugly. Yeah. So, but that's why I always tell you guys, compare a real life job to trading. You can't. People that work at fast food restaurants, grocery stores. I saw a person. I went to Kroger the other day. This guy was just. I went in the line. The person was scanning the groceries, and there's a guy called a bagger, and all they do is stand there, grab your groceries, and put it in a bag. You know how much they make an hour? $8.50 an hour. Okay, for them to make, let's just do some math here. If they were working 50 hours a week for 5 days a week times 850, they're making $425 before taxes a week. Working 50 hours. You guys see the craziness in that? So if you guys just realize how hard it is for anybody else to make money, that's a pretty shit job, I'll be honest with you, not hating on anybody, but I'm just saying that it's crazy how you have to be more realistic, right? You have to be more open-minded with how much money you can make in this, but how quickly you can lose it, all right? But I'm going to wrap things up here. Questions, comments? Scarlett, want to say anything else before, or point anything else out?
Yeah, earlier I had a question about the time frames and what was the appropriate ratio, I guess, if we want to call it.
Yeah.
Like for maybe that's helpful to to share with the team
Yeah. Let me
because
actually
I was discussing
see
that with
something.
Bax and we were like wondering.
Yeah. Let me actually see if I can take a screenshot of my actual. Okay, it won't let me. Okay, so if you guys want to take a picture or screenshot that, actually maybe I can. Hold on. Damn. No, it won't let me. That's dumb. Actually, let me see if I can do this. This will make it easier for you guys. Hold up. I'm gonna do something. Let me send this to you guys. So you can just take a picture of my time frame so you guys can have exactly what my time frames are. Okay. Instead of just hold on. All right, there
Trades,
we go.
yes, you do that. You hit the buy or sell.
What made you think shorts pre-market was? I didn't think shorts pre-market. That's why I say, Duffy, I don't have a bias until market opens. Once market opens, then I start forming my bias. The immediately when that 8:30 candle goes, then I start forming. Okay, are we bullish or bearish? I do not care what the market does. Before that, if that answers your question, okay. I was curious, where was your TP on the first trade? TP was at a 5 minute key level, so my TP was right here. Actually, hold up. You can actually see it. Even my algo even pointed out. So the first TP was right here. Okay, that key level even said it. My algo even said it. So I have my TP right there. If I go to a 1 minute time frame, you guys can see my entry is right here. Okay, that was it. That was the trade. Oh shit! My bad. I wasn't sharing my screen. Hold up. Now you guys can see it. My bad. Okay, let me re-show you. Here we go. So 5 minute time frame. Hold on. There we go. So you're like, where was my TP? How did I know to get out here? My algo even said it. Look, on that 5 minute. That's why I have 4 different time frames up all at the same time. Okay. So you can see now, if we go to a 1 minute, my entry was right here. My take profit was right there. Okay. And there you go. That was the first one. What else we got? I'm so confused in 5 day, 1 minute versus 1 day, 1 minute. So pretty much what that means. It sound good?
Yeah, sound is
Okay,
good.
cool. Deeper. Oh yeah, it's so weird. Some people like it like goes in and out. I don't know why it does that, but yeah, the time frame. What that means pretty much. So if you look at the time frame, see how it says 1D 1 minute. That's pretty much meaning it will only show you the 1 minute time frame on today. Okay. If I do 1D 2 minute, it's going to say a 2 minute time frame of today. If I go to 5D 5 minute, that's going to show you 5 minute time frame on 5 days. So if I go ahead and hit 5D 5 minute, now look what happens. You see now it's showing 5 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, on 5 minutes. Okay. So if I go to 30 minute, 10 day, what is that going to show you? 30 minute time frame on 10 days. Okay. So again, I just screenshotted. I sent my time frames in the chat. So if you guys want to take a picture of that and customize it and have exactly what my time frames are for you guys, boom, there it is, right there for you. Okay. Got it. Sweet. 1 day, 5 minute. I don't have a. Do I have a 1 day, 5 minute? No, I don't have a
I
one
had
day,
to
5 minute.
adjust my 2 hours to 20 days.
Yep. 2 hour,
That's
20
the
day.
only change I made. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, yeah. If you guys want to match mine, there it is. Okay. I even have a 30 minute. I don't know why I have 30 minute 5 days. I'll probably delete this one actually. Let me delete that one real quick. All right, there we go. I get that. Just thought when you said 5 minute time frame, you meant 1 day. No, no, 5 minute, 5 day. So, because it's able, so when you guys do that, you guys can see past data, right? You can see past performance. Okay. Scarlett, anything else you want to mention or ask that you have on top of your
I've
head?
been working with students on setting up a Thinkorswim, setting up Tradeovate. So if anybody has any questions on that, feel free to send me a message. I think I'm pretty good at guiding folks on how to set up stuff. So yeah, instead of you struggling on for hours on that, I can probably help you really quickly.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, yeah, that's what. And hey, the more you tell them how to set it up, the better you're going to be using Thinkorswim, right? So,
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Will, can I get the algo on Tradeovate? No, you can't. Algo only. That's why I show you guys. When I trade guys on Tradeovate, it's just the DOM. Okay. You everything. That's why for my guys, like pretty much Tradeovate for me is only for me to hit buy or sell. Right. I don't use a charting platform. I don't use any of that stuff. Everything for charting and everything is just Thinkorswim. Right. And that's why I love Thinkorswim so much. Like it's the best platform. Like the stuff you can do on Thinkorswim, you cannot do on Tradeovate. You can do on TradingView, but you have to pay for it. Who wants to spend money, right? And any other trading platform, you can't really do that. Thinkorswim does not show real-time data because of my location. Mike, wait, Mike, you're not in the United States, right? I think. Rushing yourself will kill your accounts faster than anything. Just be content with small wins and slowly grind them. It will work for you. Just press the brakes a little. Exactly. And that's why when I say to you guys, if you guys make like even $30 in 10 minutes, you're making more people that make $30 an hour, it's like, damn, that's good. So if you guys make $30 in 10 minutes, that's still amazing. So you guys have to like kind of understand that relativity. Okay. I've been thinking about how I'll get that Nigeria. Oh, you're in Nigeria, bro? Dang, we got somebody all the way outside. Do we have anybody else that's outside of America in here?
That's awesome.
Do you have anybody else that's outside the U.S.? Okay, everybody put their state where you guys are from. I know we have like obviously Texas, California, Nigeria, Minnesota, Oregon, California. I know we have a lot. Missouri, Alaska. Dude, Alaska's not that far. West Virginia. Let's go. I'm trying to keep myself in a good mindset to where 150 days is good enough for me. Perfect. MD, let's go. Okay, bet. Awesome. But anyways, guys, I was on the 50K. What should be half size and full size entries? I would say 4 to 5 micros, and then full size should be like 7 to 10 MNQs. That's what I would say the two different ones should be. Okay. But other than that, that's it for me, guys. Again, this is being recorded, so I will upload that here shortly. Okay. If you have any other questions, reach out to Scarlett or I. Hope you guys have a beautiful rest of you guys' Wednesday. Let's finish these next 2 days out on a green note, and let's keep this crushing it and keep making that bread. Okay. But the biggest thing that kills traders, guys, is rushing it or psychology. But other than that, have a beautiful rest of you guys this evening, and I'll see you guys in the AM for Thursday. Peace out, team. Good work, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.